So you're watching and listening to the League of Ireland Lives podcast with myself, JB Moore. Thanks for joining me, and we're joined on Skype by Aaron McEneff of Shamrock Rovers. Aaron, good afternoon. How are you?
All right, Jamie, I'm not too bad. How's things with yourself?
Yeah, great. Not too bad, thank you. I'm living with my nan at the moment because she's on her own, and I can smell the dinner being cooked up through the floors of the house already. And it's about, what time is it? 12:30 in the afternoon?
It's a bit early for that, isn't it?
She likes to get it done early. It's not going to be eaten yet, but the reason I say that is Ollie Cal was on there and he was telling me about the PFAI, and I asked him about the cookery class that you guys did last year, and I think you took part in that. So how have you been making use and isolation of your newly learned cookery skills from the PFAI?
Well, I'm back in my ma's house at the minute, so she does most of the cooking. But it was actually a good class. Like, I cook a lot, obviously, when I'm in Dublin, but I haven't had to lift a finger since I've moved back into the house for this period. But no, it was actually me and Dylan Watts were together that day, and I don't think we were the best parent, to be honest.
So you have an apartment in Dublin, of course, because you're full time with Shamrock Rovers, but because of the lockdown, the club have allowed some of the players who live in other places of Ireland and stuff to get back to their family homes, and you're still able to do your exercise and your Zooms from there as you would be back in Dublin, but you're back around family and friends up in Derry.
Yeah, no, I came back up. We finished up on the Friday. We were supposed to play Finn Harps, and I came back up the road, and then I went back down after a few days because I didn't really know the extent of it. Just grabbed a few things, and then I've been back up living out of a suitcase since. But no, it's obviously a difficult period, but it makes it more helpful whenever you've got your family around.
So how is your League of Ireland life in isolation overall? What have you been getting up to and stuff?
To be honest, Jamie, I've been playing FIFA a lot, to be honest. Played that extra time tournament, and obviously I've got Wardies coming up, and then trying to stay active and keep yourself ticking over. That's Pico Lopez was doing Zoom workouts and stuff with the lads 3 days a week. So that gives you like a routine, and sort of you can plan around things and stuff, and then obviously my brother, he's back from England as well. And my other brother that's at uni, he's back in the house. So there's three of us to keep each other company at the minute, and we're able to we've set up like a little gym out the back with a few dumbbells, a spin bike and stuff, and then there's a GAA pitch like just down the street, so we've been able to get out running on that. Just trying to keep myself busy really, and it's obviously a tough period for everyone being stuck in the house and stuff, but you just have to try and keep the mind occupied.
In a strange way, is it nice to have kind of your mum and your, you mentioned your family, and you're very close with your brothers. One of them plays for Arsenal and lives in London. One of them still lives up in that neck of the woods. You live in Dublin. So even though it's a really difficult situation, I'm sure in some ways it's been nice to just be back around the family kind of full time again for a little while.
Well, it's grand. It's like for about a week or so, it's all right, and then the fights and stuff start kicking in again, and my man and dad's going mad, like, you know what I mean. But it's good. Obviously, they have everyone around, and it's, if you didn't have them around, you would be on the likes of Zoom calls or FaceTime or whatever, chatting to them anyway, because there's not much else they do. So the fact that they're there, it's just a bit of crack, and it is helpful in this period.
Yeah, and you mentioned the FIFA game against Keith Ward. The derby goes digital Friday at 8 p.m. Keith Ward of Bohemians against Aaron McEneff of Shamrock Rovers. You can watch it live on balls.ie, and it's all support of PA The House, which is a very important mental health charity, Aaron. So you'll be putting your FIFA skills in a Dublin derby against one of your Bows rivals on Friday night.
Look, Ward, he's a mate of mine, to be fair. I played with him, and so I know I've played FIFA against him before, and he's really good at it, to be fair. He's like one of them wee FIFA nerds that just sits and loves it. Like, he would always say he's the best in every team he's played in and stuff. But no, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, it's for a good cause as well. It's for a charity, and I played the extra time one, which was enjoyable. Obviously, got to the final of that and took a good beating in the final by Tariq Wilson. But looking forward to the game against Wardy. It should be good for fans and stuff to tune in, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and everybody is trying to get creative to try and keep the League of Ireland somewhat in people's lives, and this for a very important charity in PA the House. We spoke to Ollie Cahill there from the PFEI about the number of players who were coming to the PFEI with mental health issues, and it's nice for you guys, even though you'd want to absolutely batter each other on a football pitch if there's a real derby on, to be able to have this streamed and have it for a good cause.
But I think that's the biggest part in it, that it is for a good cause, and like if you just did it, say, I don't know, to promote a gaming brand or promote clubs and stuff, I think there's obviously the element that the fans will enjoy it and stuff, but the best part about it is that it is for a good cause and Peter House charity, and we do know how much like people in general suffer from mental health, and it's never really spoken about, to be honest. And the more awareness that can be drawn towards that area of someone's health, the better, really, because a lot of people would be surprised at who or when people are suffering from mental health, and it's always good to go and speak to someone and take care of yourself that way.
Yeah, and you've had a really good career so far, Aaron, and you've had ups and you've had downs. You were in the UK, you've come home, you played for your hometown club, and stuff, I'm sure, like everybody else in your life, has gone wrong and has gone right, and then you moved to Shamrock Rovers, won the cup last year, and now the league is on pause. So from your own sense, like, I'm sure it's an issue that everybody has faced and will face as time goes on.
Look, you obviously, in terms of a football career, there's ups and downs, and as the way I've looked at it is, year by year you sort of learn to deal with them in a better way. But if you take football aside, this type of problems obviously much more than football. It's affected the whole world, and you have to give massive respect to the people out working at this time, because it's scary for everyone involved. And I'll be honest, I the first few weeks that it started getting talked about and around the change room and stuff, before we broke up, I didn't really take it serious myself. I didn't think anything was going to happen, but obviously there is a serious issue, and it's really important for people to take care of themselves and take care of their families at this time, and hopefully we'll get through it, and everything will be back to normal soon.
So who's going to win the FIFA match?
What a question that is. Well, I'm not overly confident, to be fair, because I've played against Wardy before. But look, we'll give it a go, and we'll see how it goes. I think the gameplay and stuff will be changed to that 85 plus, so we're sort of on a level playing field. But I think you have to always back yourself. So hopefully I'll go and get the 3 points.
And are you going to pick yourself in the Shamrock Rovers team? You are playing the Shamrock Rovers, correct?
Obviously, I'm going to pick myself, Jamie.
And have you rang Stephen Bradley to ask him to pick the rest of the team, or?
No, I'm the gaffer now.
Hopefully he'll be happy with your selection.
No, he'll be happy if we win, and I'll probably have me release forms on Saturday morning if I get beat.
I'm sure after your performance so far in the hoops, you'll be safe for a little while now. And just on that, Aaron, I know all clubs are doing Zoom calls and you've got a running program, and you mentioned about the little gym you built out in your back garden with your brothers. What type of contact have you had with the lads, with Stephen Bradley and the coaching staff? And you're in your Shamrock Rovers gear now. You're just back from doing your work, so you're still a Shamrock Rovers player, of course, and you're still doing your best to keep yourself as fit as you possibly can for whenever things do return.
Yeah. I've spoke to the gaffer a few times since we broke up, and he would text or give you a ring just to check in and see how things are and stuff, and then just through group chats and even just texting a few of the lads, I've still kept in contact with them. As I said, them Zoom calls have really helped, because while you're getting a bit of work done, it's a bit of crack as well, and everyone's sort of interacting with each other. But I think just the main thing for yourself as a footballer is the try and stay active, because there obviously isn't a date to there is a date initially the 19th of June to work towards, but we don't know yet if that's going to go ahead. So it's kind of hard to focus fully towards that date, but that is obviously the plan at the minute. It's like just when you're going to go back. Where like if say you were in the off season and you know you're going into pre-season, so you're going to obviously batter it in the few weeks coming up to pre-season to make sure you're ready. That date now is obviously the 19th of June, so hopefully it stays that date, but we just don't know yet.
Yeah, and I'm asking everybody on this week's episode, Aaron, about, the return. And there was a statement by the FAI on Wednesday about, different dates and options and behind closed doors and, games being streamed. And I understand maybe a lot of the League of Ireland grounds are going to be inspected to see about hand washing facilities and the possibilities for social distancing. As a player and as a player at a club that has had very good attendances and probably has the best stadium in the country, what's your thoughts on the possibility of playing behind closed doors?
Look, if it has to be done, it has to be done. To get us back out on the pitch and playing games. Because that's obviously, as a player, that's what you want to be doing. But that element of having no fans at a game would obviously be strange. Because that's the element that sort of gets you up for games, and that's why football is what it is, because of fans coming to games, creating atmospheres and the enjoyment factor that they get out of it, and players thrive off that, playing under maybe a bit of pressure or whatever. All that sort of is taken away if you're playing behind closed doors, and I'm sure if it happens, then it's obviously great to get back on the pitch and stuff, but there could be a difference in the way games are played and stuff.
Yeah, something we're not going to talk about is the Shamrock Rovers pay cuts, but the players took 25% pay cut and are still, working hard, and that's an issue facing the league players too. So fair play to everyone at Rovers for that. Aaron, on the season, 5 games, 5 wins. That win over Bows on the opening day in the worst conditions I've ever seen for a League of Ireland match. Then another moment was the victory over Dundalk. Unbelievable crowd in Tala, live TV game. That Jordan Flores goal, the Jack Byrne goals, the Rovers win. And then the last game, a 3-2 win over Sligo on a Saturday night. You scored in the game. I watched that game in my local. My best mate had a couple of points on a Saturday. It was on Air Sport. I think my mate Paul Corrie and Gerard Bryan were doing the punditry. Terrible weather as well. I did not think watching that game, having the points, that would be the last League of Ireland game that we'd see for a long, long time. But the season for you guys, started fairly well after that cup win, 5 wins in a row, and things were going great.
Things went well, in pre-season and stuff, and I think the one against Bows on the opening day was massive. It was like a momentum swinger, really, because they obviously went to 10 men, and if we went in at full time, had have drawn the game 0-0, there would have been, you would have been feeling a bit deflated, to be honest. And we got obviously the late winner, and it's a completely different mindset when you go into the change room and a proper buzz around the place. And obviously the games like Bows, Dundalk, they kind of take care of themselves, but the other games that we played against Cork, Waterford and Sligo, we showed a good character to like in playing them teams to sort of go and get the wins as well, because I know last year we had to improve on our results against Bows and Dundalk, but sometimes it's hard to go to the likes of Sligo and dig out a result, because it's a tough place to go. The crowd's tight and the pitch isn't always the best there. It can be a difficult place to go. So I think if you look at each game, each one was important as each other, and I really enjoyed the first 5 games. We obviously had the great start to the season, and like yourself, I didn't expect it to be the last game for this amount of time either, and we just prepared to play Finn Harps and then got the call and said the game's off. So God knows when it'll be back, Jamie, but hopefully it's back sooner rather than later.
And lastly, Aaron, we did know when the cup final was on that would have been the last game for a little while. I know Dundalk had that United Union stuff, but you guys knew it was your last game. You won the cup, and I was doing live updates for Off the Ball and News Talk and 98 FM that day, and we did an interview sitting in my car not long afterwards. Having had a little bit more time now to reflect, and I know Shamrock Rovers recently streamed it on their Facebook page. All the clubs are looking back on old classic games and stuff. You scored the penalty. The Michael Duffy equaliser is the most dramatic moment I've ever seen at a League of Ireland game. And then you guys went out on penalties. What's your memories of it? And when I recite those details to you, how does it make you feel?
So if you then based on what you just said, I think when I scored, I thought we'd won the cup. Then Mickey Duffy scores, and I thought, oh no, I have to run here for another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I think a lot of lads were in the same boat at that stage because everyone sort of put everything into that 90 minutes. But just to go and win it then on penalties, because it obviously doesn't matter which way you win a cup. It was an amazing feeling, and it kind of feels that. It gave me a sense of if you put so much into something, then you do get rewards from it, and that sort of showed on the day. Then just the celebrations afterwards, whole family being there, then everybody's families coming together and stuff in the hotel afterwards. It was just a brilliant occasion, to be honest, and for me it was my first FAI Cup final in the Aviva Stadium, so it sort of gives you that feeling that you want to kick on and get to more finals, to be honest, because as a player, they're the days you want to be involved in.
And that just gives you the taste of success and the taste of big games and stuff. And I'm sure whenever things do come back, everybody is so looking forward to first training session, first game back. If it is no fans, if it is fans, that we can get everything going again whenever that might be.
Yeah, no, that's it, Jamie. To be honest, it's especially the way we were left is obviously winning the first 5 games this year. Such a good start to the season, and every day in training, everyone's itching to get out there and go and prove themselves to get in the starting 11 because everybody wants to be involved and stuff like that. So I'm sure when football does go back to normal and that first training session, I think everyone will be buzzing for it and just ready to go, basically. And to be honest, I think a lot of the lads off our team, based on what they've been doing, will come in fit enough and ready to go from that day.
And lastly, Aaron McEneff, you can't say Money Heist because everybody I've interviewed so far said Money Heist. What are you recommending for us on Netflix, please?
I watched Money Heist as well. That was my one. And I downloaded that Disney Plus, but I got fed up. I got fed up after a few days because it's just it's for the kids, really. What other ones would I say? I watched a film the other night called Brian Banks, and I thought it was very good. And at the end of the film, it was actually a true story. So that's what I would recommend.
I'm watching
about American football.
Sorry, I'm keeping interrupting you. Go again. American football, yes.
Yeah, I won't tell you the rest of it. It's about an American footballer. But it's a good storyline, and then at the end of it, you realise it's a true story, and it's crazy what actually happened.
Yes,
Brian Banks.
I've done it again. See, this is really annoying, right? See, if I'm in a radio studio or if I'm in the Off the Ball video studio, I know when someone's about to stop talking or if it's even on the phone call. But I've even seen with Sky Sports News when they're doing their 4-way Zoom calls in the morning on their football show, people are interrupting each other because there's a small delay on different people's Skypes and they don't know what's going on. So I interrupted you about 4 times.
You're
there,
right.
so
You're all right.
Sorry about that. Disaster.
You're all right. You're like Graham Souness there jumping
in. Right. Well, thank you for your time. Keith Ward is up next. He's just sent me his Skype details and tells me that he's struggling to connect his AirPods to his iPad. But I'm sure he's going to tell me when I do get him how badly he's going to beat you in that match. Oh,
he's been buzzing for this game, so I'm sure he'll be talking about it a lot, and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, Jamie, that's all I have to say in that FIFA game.
Yeah, I contemplated getting the two lads on the same Skype call, but I thought they might have a bit of a fight, so I didn't want to do that because it is Rovers v Balls at the end of the day, and it's on at 8 o'clock on Friday, being streamed live on the balls.ie Facebook page in aid of PA the House. So, Aaron McEneff, thanks for your time. Best of luck in the game. I'll be watching, and we'll speak to you hopefully on a Friday night at a League of Ireland stadium soon.
Thanks very much, Jamie. Take care.